As the days pass, the knot in my stomach tightens, and my mind races with possibilities. I tried to keep myself occupied, working late, hitting the gym, and meeting up with Mark for drinks. But every moment alone only amplifies the anxiety brewing beneath the surface. I can't shake the feeling that Amanda is hiding something from me. One evening, as I return home from a particularly long day, the faint sound of laughter wafts through the open window. My heart races as I approach the door. I step inside to find Amanda sprawled on the couch, a glass of red wine in hand, laughing at something on her phone. The warmth of the room contrasts sharply with the chill in my bones. "Hey! You're home early." She beams, her cheeks flushed, and her hair falls around her shoulders in soft waves. "Yeah, figured I'd surprise you," I reply, forcing a smile while my gut churns. "Want a glass?" she offers, her eyes sparkling. I nod, trying to push aside the suspicions that cloud my mind. As we sit together, I find myself captivated by her laughter, the way it fills the space around us. She talks animatedly about her day, her passion evident in her words. Yet, beneath that surface, I sense an energy that feels different, almost electric. "Did I tell you about the new venue I'm working with?" she asks, her eyes lighting up. "It's a beautiful loft downtown, and the owners are really open to creative ideas." "Sounds amazing," I say, leaning in closer. I want to feel that excitement with her, to connect in the way we used to. But as I watch her, I can't help but notice the way she bites her lip when she talks about the venue, an unconscious gesture that stirs something primal within me. "Maybe we can check it out together sometime," I suggest, trying to regain that spark. Her smile falters for a moment, and I catch a flicker of something in her eyes. "That would be nice," she says softly, almost distracted. Later that night, as we prepare for bed, I feel the tension hanging between us. I can't ignore the urge to close that gap, to reclaim the intimacy we once shared. As Amanda slips into her nightgown, I admire the way the fabric hugs her curves, accentuating her figure in a way that makes my heart race. "Can we talk?" I ask, the words spilling out before I can reconsider. "Of course," she replies, her voice gentle. "I've been feeling distant lately. Like something's off between us," I admit, my eyes searching hers for answers. Her expression shifts, a hint of vulnerability breaking through. "I know what you mean. It's been a busy few weeks." I step closer, reaching out to brush my fingers against her arm, feeling the warmth of her skin beneath the fabric. "I miss us, Amanda. I miss how we used to be." For a moment, silence hangs in the air, charged with unspoken desires. Her gaze drops to the floor, and I can sense her internal struggle. "I miss that too," she finally whispers, her voice barely above a breath. In an impulsive moment, I pull her closer, our bodies almost touching. I lean down, capturing her lips with mine, a hesitant kiss that quickly deepens as the longing we've both been harboring floods the space between us. Amanda responds, her arms wrapping around my neck as she melts against me. The kiss ignites a spark, reigniting the passion that has flickered in the background. It's as if a dam has burst, and the flood of desire surges through us both. "Let's not let life get in the way anymore," I murmur against her lips, feeling her breath quicken. "I want that too," she breathes, her voice trembling with anticipation. We find ourselves tumbling onto the bed, laughter mingling with the heat of the moment. I lose myself in the rhythm of her body, the softness of her skin igniting every nerve ending. It's intoxicating, the way we explore each other, as if rediscovering a treasure long forgotten. But amidst the passion, a nagging thought lingers at the back of my mind. As I trace my fingers down her spine, I can't help but wonder if this connection is enough to bridge the distance that has formed between us. Afterward, as we lie tangled in the sheets, I can't shake the feeling that while we may have rekindled something physical, the emotional distance still looms large. Amanda's breathing steadies, and I watch her face, the flickering candlelight casting shadows that dance across her features. "What were you thinking about earlier?" I finally ask, needing to address the elephant in the room. She shifts slightly, her expression clouding over. "Just work. It's been overwhelming." "Is it just work?" I probe gently, wanting to dig deeper but afraid of what I might uncover. Her eyes dart away, and for a moment, I see a flicker of uncertainty. Nicholas, can we just enjoy this moment? I don't want to think about anything else right now. I nod, though doubt clings to me like a shroud. As the night wears on, I hold her close, trying to savor the intimacy we've rekindled. But the undercurrents of tension remain, tugging at my mind even as I drift off to sleep. Let me know when you'd like me to continue. The next morning, I wake up to the smell of coffee wafting through the house. The sun filters through the curtains, casting a warm glow over everything. I stretch, feeling Amanda's warmth beside me, and for a fleeting moment, everything feels perfect. But as I rise to get ready for the day, the shadows of last night's conversation linger in my mind. I head to the kitchen, where Amanda is pouring herself a cup of coffee. She's wearing one of my old t-shirts, its fabric hanging loosely on her body, the hem barely brushing her thighs. It's a sight that stirs my heart and my desire all at once. "Morning," she says, her voice still soft with sleep. "Morning," I reply, unable to take my eyes off her. I walk over and wrap my arms around her waist, pulling her close as I kiss the top of her head. "Did you sleep well?" she asks, leaning into me. "Yeah, I did," I answer, the memories of our passionate night flooding back. "You? Better than I have in a long time," she admits, and I can't help but feel a surge of hope. Maybe we're on the right track. As we sip our coffee, the conversation flows easily, laughter punctuating the morning air. I can see the spark returning in Amanda's eyes, but a small part of me still worries. I can't ignore the nagging feeling that something is still amiss, even as we enjoy each other's company. After breakfast, Amanda heads to her office to catch up on some work. I take this time to grab my phone and check my messages, and that's when I notice a notification from a social media app. My heart sinks when I see a friend request from a profile I don't recognize, but it's the mutual friend that catches my eye, Jake, the bartender. A wave of suspicion washes over me. I quickly dismiss the request, but my mind races. I can't help but wonder if there's a connection between Amanda and him. They seem to share a mutual interest in the social scene, and the thought twists something deep inside me. Later that afternoon, Amanda invites me to meet her at the loft she's been raving about. I agree, eager to see what has captured her imagination. When I arrive, I'm struck by the elegance of the space: high ceilings, exposed brick, and large windows that let in the sunlight. "Isn't it incredible?" she beams, her excitement contagious. "Yeah, it's beautiful," I reply, stepping further inside. As she walks me through the space, I can see her vision coming to life. The way she talks about the design, the colors, and the events she plans to host is intoxicating. I can't help but admire her passion, but beneath it all, the unease continues to gnaw at me. "Let's celebrate this place," she suggests, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "How about some champagne?" I nod, feeling the thrill of the moment as she pulls out a chilled bottle and 2 glasses. We pop the cork, and the sound echoes through the empty space, adding to the sense of occasion. As we sip the bubbly, the tension between us shifts, the air thick with unspoken desires. "Cheers to new beginnings," Amanda toasts, clinking her glass against mine. "To new beginnings," I echo, but in the back of my mind, I can't help but think of the cracks that still need mending. After a few glasses, Amanda's laughter fills the loft, and the atmosphere shifts from celebratory to something more intimate. The way she leans against me, her body brushing against mine, sends jolts of electricity through me. "Do you remember when we used to sneak away for little adventures?" she asks, her voice low and sultry. "Of course," I reply, my heart racing at the memory of stolen kisses and late-night escapades. "Maybe we should have another adventure tonight," she suggests, her eyes glinting with mischief. "What did you have in mind?" I ask, my curiosity piqued. Without answering, she takes a step back, her gaze locking onto mine. There's a heat in her expression that ignites a fire within me. I can feel the pull between us, a magnetic force that draws me closer. "Let's make this space feel like ours," she whispers, her breath hitching as she reaches for my hand. I follow her deeper into the loft, the anticipation swirling around us. As she leads me to a cozy corner, I can see the desire flickering in her eyes, and it stirs something primal inside me. She wraps her arms around my neck, pulling me down to her, and I can't resist the pull any longer. Our lips collide in a passionate kiss, the kind that speaks of longing and need. The world outside fades away as we lose ourselves in each other. The taste of champagne lingers on her lips, intoxicating and sweet. I run my hands down her back, feeling the softness of her skin beneath the fabric of her shirt, and the heat radiating from her body sends waves of desire coursing through me. As we explore each other, the loft feels alive with our passion. I push her gently against the wall, my body pressing against hers as I deepen the kiss. Her fingers tangle in my hair, pulling me closer as if she's trying to fuse our bodies together. The thrill of the moment washes away my doubts, leaving only the raw need for each other. Right here, right now, she breathes against my lips, and I can't help but feel a rush of exhilaration. Nothing else matters, I murmur, capturing her lips once more, our breaths mingling as the world around us disappears. The loft, with its unfinished corners and empty spaces, becomes our sanctuary, a place where we can rekindle the flames of our connection. In that moment, all that exists is the heat between us, and I lose myself in the depth of our intimacy, the worries of the outside world forgotten. But as we breathe each other in, I can't shake the thought that beneath the surface, our relationship is still a delicate dance, one that could unravel at any moment. Let me know when you'd like me to continue. As the afternoon light spills through the large windows, illuminating the loft with a golden hue, Amanda and I lose ourselves in each other. The kiss deepens, a fervent exploration of lips and tongues, each caress igniting a fire that had been smoldering beneath the surface for too long. With every brush of her body against mine, the world outside fades into nothingness. I press her against the wall, the coolness of the brick contrasting with the heat radiating from her skin. Her breath comes in soft gasps, each one sending a thrill of desire coursing through me. Tell me what you want, I murmur, my lips trailing down her neck, savoring the way her skin feels beneath my mouth. I want you, she whispers, her voice a sultry melody that pulls me in. Right here, right now. The urgency in her tone sends a jolt of excitement through me. I lift her up, her legs wrapping around my waist as I carry her deeper into the loft. Every step feels charged, as if the very air crackles with anticipation. I find a plush sofa nestled in the corner, and gently lay her down, the fabric cool against her warm skin. I hover above her, taking a moment to drink in the sight of her, her hair splayed out like a halo, her cheeks flushed with desire. You're beautiful, I whisper, and she smiles, a sultry grin that sets my heart racing. I lean down, capturing her lips once more, and our bodies move in perfect harmony. Her hands roam my back, nails scraping lightly against my skin, igniting sparks of pleasure. I can feel her body arching beneath mine, a subtle invitation that stirs something primal within me. With each kiss, the barriers between us dissolve further. I trail my hands down her sides, fingers slipping beneath the hem of her shirt, teasingly brushing against her skin. She lets out a soft sigh, and I can't resist the urge to explore more. Slowly, I lift the shirt, revealing the softness of her body. The warmth of her skin against my fingertips feels electric, and I lean down to worship her with kisses, trailing my mouth from her collarbone to the gentle curves of her stomach. I savor the way she reacts, the way her body quivers with every touch. Nicholas, she breathes, her voice a mix of longing and urgency. I can feel her desire pulling me closer, urging me to lose myself in her completely. Just relax, I murmur, looking up into her eyes. I want to take my time. Her breath catches, and I can see the heat in her gaze, a silent agreement to indulge in this moment together. I continue my journey, kissing my way back up her body, until I capture her lips once more, a deep kiss filled with all the passion and unspoken desires we've both been holding back. As the kiss deepens, I can feel her hands roaming my body, exploring every inch as if memorizing the contours of my skin. The sensation sends waves of heat through me, and I respond by pressing my body against hers, reveling in the delicious friction between us. Suddenly, a sound breaks through the moment, a distant ringtone echoing from my pocket. It feels like a cruel interruption, pulling me momentarily from the blissful haze we've created. I groan, torn between the temptation to answer it and the urgency of the moment. "Leave it," Amanda whispers, her breath hot against my ear, rekindling my resolve. I shake my head, reaching for my phone and glancing at the screen. It's Mark. I consider ignoring it, but the familiar weight of guilt tugs at my conscience. I know I shouldn't care about anything outside of this moment, yet I can't help but think of the life we've built together, the friendships, the trust. "I should get this," I say reluctantly, but Amanda pulls me back down to her. "Just a few more minutes," she pleads, her voice sultry and intoxicating. I lose myself in her once more, the ringing fading into the background as I return to her warmth, her skin, the intoxicating blend of our desires. I push everything aside, focusing only on her, on the way she makes me feel alive. As I settle back into our rhythm, the world around us dissolves again. The loft, once filled with potential and creativity, now feels like our private sanctuary, a space where we can forget the complications of life outside. We lose ourselves in each other, bodies entwined, breath mingling as we explore every inch, every curve, every sigh that escapes our lips. The connection deepens, each moment a reaffirmation of our desire for one another, a promise that we can still find our way back to each other despite the distance that had grown between us. As we succumb to the heat of the moment, I can't shake the nagging thought of what awaits us beyond this sanctuary. But for now, wrapped in Amanda's embrace, nothing else matters. All that exists is this moment, this connection, this beautiful, messy thing we call love. Let me know when you'd like me to continue. As the afternoon sun begins to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows across the loft, Amanda and I remain tangled together, lost in the sweet afterglow of our intimacy. The air is thick with the scent of our lingering passion and the faint notes of the champagne we shared earlier. I can feel the warmth of her body against mine, a comforting reminder of how far we've come in just a few stolen moments. But the tranquility is short-lived. A persistent buzz from my phone breaks the serene atmosphere, and I reluctantly pull away to check it. It's another message from Mark, asking if I want to join him and a few friends for dinner. I feel a twinge of guilt, torn between wanting to reconnect with my old life and the undeniable pull of Amanda's presence. I silence the phone and turn back to her, finding her propped up on her elbows, a playful smile dancing on her lips. "Everything okay?" "Just Mark wanting to hang out," I reply, my voice low. "I told him I'd let him know." Amanda pouts slightly, an adorable expression that stirs something inside me. "Why don't you tell him you're busy? We could make the most of this evening." Her words hang in the air, igniting a spark of desire once again. I hesitate, weighing the options in my mind. But then she leans in closer, her lips brushing against my ear as she whispers, "I want you all to myself tonight." Her breath sends shivers down my spine, and I feel the familiar heat pooling in my stomach. "You're right," I say, a grin spreading across my face. "Tonight is ours." With newfound determination, I set my phone aside, giving Amanda my undivided attention. I capture her lips in a deep kiss, feeling the warmth radiating from her body as I pull her closer. Her hands slide up my back, fingers tangling in my hair, and I can't help but deepen the kiss, pouring all my pent-up desire into that single moment. "Let's make this night unforgettable," I suggest, pulling back to gaze into her eyes. "Unforgettable sounds perfect," she replies, her eyes sparkling with mischief. I take her hand and lead her back to the sofa, pulling her down beside me. The plush cushions cradle us as we settle in, the atmosphere electric with anticipation. I take my time exploring her, savoring every moment as I run my fingers along her arms, down to her waist, and over her legs. "Tell me what you want," I murmur, my voice low and thick with desire. "I want you to take your time with me," she breathes, a sultry smile curving her lips. "I want to feel everything." Her words ignite a fire within me, and I nod, ready to surrender to the moment. I start by kissing her neck, trailing my lips along her collarbone, feeling her shiver beneath my touch. Her body arches slightly, a soft sigh escaping her lips as I explore the delicate curve of her shoulder. "I love the way you feel," I whisper, the words barely escaping my lips. With each kiss, I trace a path down her body, savoring the softness of her skin. I can feel her pulse quickening, the anticipation building as I make my way to her stomach, planting gentle kisses that send shivers through her entire being. Her fingers dig into the cushions as I continue my exploration, drawing out every sigh, every gasp, until the air around us feels charged with electric tension. God, Nicholas! She breathes, her voice thick with longing. Don't stop. The desire in her voice drives me further, and I take my time, eager to discover every inch of her. I let my hands wander, exploring the contours of her body, feeling her warmth and softness beneath my fingertips. The world outside fades away, and all that matters is this moment, this connection we're forging anew. As I kiss my way back up, I find her lips again, capturing them with urgency. She responds with equal fervor, our bodies moving in perfect sync, a rhythm that speaks to the depths of our desire. I can feel the tension between us building, a palpable energy that electrifies the air. Let's not hold back, she whispers, her breath hot against my skin. Never, I promise, feeling the fire between us ignite even further. We lose ourselves in a dance of passion, our bodies entwined, exploring the depths of our longing and desire. I pull her closer, our skin gliding against each other, a delicious friction that sends waves of pleasure coursing through us. As the night unfolds, we become two bodies intertwined, lost in a world of our making. The loft transforms into our sanctuary, a place where nothing else exists except the heat of our connection. Hours later, we finally collapse against each other, breathless and spent, the glow of our passion still lighting up the room. I can feel Amanda's heart racing against mine, a rhythm that matches the exhilaration of the night. See? Unforgettable, she whispers, a satisfied smile on her lips. Definitely unforgettable, I reply, feeling a warmth spread through me. But as I lie there, wrapped in her embrace, the doubts that had plagued me earlier begin to creep back in. I know we've rekindled something beautiful, but I can't help but wonder if it's enough to bridge the distance that still lingers beneath the surface. Hey, I say softly, pulling back to look into her eyes. Can we talk about us? Her smile falters slightly, and I see the flicker of uncertainty return. I thought we were in a good place. We are, I assure her, taking her hand in mine. But I still feel like there's something we need to address. I don't want to go back to how things were. She nods slowly, a thoughtful look crossing her face. I agree. I want us to be better too. Then let's figure this out together, I suggest, feeling the hope stir within me once more. As we sit there, the weight of our past lingering in the air, I can't help but feel that maybe, just maybe, we're on the path to rediscovering each other in ways we never imagined possible. Let me know when you'd like me to continue. As we sit together in the dim light of the loft, our bodies still buzzing from the intensity of our earlier connection, I can feel the tension shifting. There's a fragile balance hanging between us, a mix of vulnerability and hope. I want to know everything about you, what you want, what you need, I say, searching Amanda's eyes for clarity. She bites her lip, a gesture that sends a jolt of desire through me. I want us to explore more. I want to feel that spark we had when we first got together. The way she speaks sends heat flooding through me, and I can't help but lean closer, brushing my lips against hers. I want that too. I want to explore every part of you. With those words, I can feel the air around us thickening with unspoken desire. I trace my fingers along her jawline, feeling the warmth of her skin beneath my touch. Tell me what you've been thinking about, I urge, wanting to peel back the layers of her heart. I've been thinking about the way we used to lose ourselves in each other, she admits, her breath hitching slightly. About the wild things we used to do. A rush of excitement courses through me at her words. I remember those nights, the thrill of sneaking away, the stolen moments filled with passion and adventure. We can have that again, I whisper, my lips grazing her neck, savoring the softness of her skin. As I speak, I feel her shiver beneath my touch. Yes, she breathes, arching into me. I want that. I want you to show me how much you want me. Her words ignite something primal within me, and I respond by capturing her lips once more. The kiss deepens, and I can feel the fire between us rekindling, stronger than before. I'm desperate to taste every bit of her, to feel her body responding to my every caress. I pull her close, our bodies pressing together, and I can feel the warmth radiating from her. With each kiss, I explore her mouth, tasting the sweetness of her breath, the lingering hint of champagne from earlier. Let's take our time, I murmur, my voice low and thick with desire. I want to savor every moment. Then don't hold back, she replies, her eyes darkening with passion. With her words as my guide, I lean down, kissing a path from her lips to her collarbone. I let my hands roam her body, exploring every curve, every dip, until I reach the hem of her shirt. Slowly, I lift it, revealing her soft skin, my fingers tracing delicate patterns across her stomach. God, you're beautiful, I breathe, my gaze fixed on her as I take in the sight of her. I can feel her pulse quicken beneath my fingertips, and I continue my exploration, my kisses trailing lower, inch by inch. The soft fabric of her shorts feels like a barrier, and I can't resist the urge to push it aside, wanting to feel the heat of her skin against mine. With a gentle tug, I slide her shorts down, exposing her completely to my gaze. My breath hitches at the sight of her, vulnerability mixed with unbridled desire. I lean down, kissing her thighs, feeling her tremble beneath my touch. Amanda, I whisper, looking up into her eyes. You're so perfect. Don't stop, she urges, her voice thick with longing. Encouraged by her words, I trail kisses along her thighs, inching closer to the heat at the center of her desire. I can feel her body reacting to my every move, the way her hips arch toward me, urging me on. I can't hold back any longer. With deliberate slowness, I let my mouth explore her, tasting her sweetness and feeling her respond to every flick of my tongue. Her breath comes in soft gasps, a melody that drives me deeper into a haze of desire. More, she breathes, her fingers tangling in my hair as she pulls me closer. I can feel the tension building, a potent mix of pleasure and urgency as I lose myself in the rhythm of our bodies. Every kiss, every touch is a promise that we can reclaim what we once had and build something even more beautiful. As I savor every moment, I can feel her body tensing, the waves of pleasure building within her. I'm so close, she gasps, her voice barely a whisper. Let go, I urge, my voice thick with desire. I'm right here. With that, I push her over the edge, her cries of pleasure filling the room as her body convulses with release. The sight of her, lost in ecstasy, drives me wild, and I can't help but marvel at how beautifully we fit together. As the waves of pleasure begin to recede, I pull back to meet her gaze. Her eyes are heavy-lidded, a satisfied smile playing on her lips. That was incredible, she breathes, her chest rising and falling with each breath. It really was, I reply, feeling a warmth spread through my chest. But as we bask in the afterglow, I can't shake the lingering questions that still swirl in my mind. I know we've taken a huge step forward tonight, but there's still so much we need to confront. Can we keep this going? I ask, my heart racing as I look into her eyes. I want to, she replies, a smile spreading across her face. But we need to be open with each other. I agree, I say, feeling a sense of relief wash over me. We can't keep dancing around our problems. As we lie there, wrapped in each other's arms, I can feel the weight of our past lifting just a little, replaced by the promise of what lies ahead. Together, we can navigate this new territory, reclaiming the love that once felt so distant. Let me know when you'd like me to continue. As we lie together in the soft glow of the loft, the aftermath of our passionate encounter enveloping us, I can feel the tension that had once clouded our relationship begin to dissolve. It's as if the act of reclaiming our intimacy has cleared the air between us, allowing us to breathe freely for the first time in what feels like an eternity. Amanda nestles closer, resting her head against my chest, her breath warm against my skin. I didn't realize how much I missed this, she whispers, her voice barely above a sigh. Neither did I admit, running my fingers through her hair, savoring the moment. We've been so caught up in life that we forgot what brought us together in the first place. She lifts her head to meet my gaze, her eyes sparkling with a newfound clarity. I think we can find our way back, Nicholas. But it's going to take work from both of us. I'm ready for that. I reply earnestly, the sincerity of my words echoing in the space between us. I want to be open and honest with you, no more secrets. Amanda nods, a small smile spreading across her lips. Me too. I want to share everything with you, even the parts that scare me. The weight of those unspoken fears hangs in the air, but for the first time, I feel hopeful. It's not just about overcoming the betrayal, it's about building something stronger, something that can withstand the tests of time. Let's make a pact, I suggest, feeling the excitement bubble within me. To communicate openly and to never let life get in the way of us again. I like that, she says, her smile widening. No matter how busy we get, we need to prioritize each other. We share a kiss, tender and sweet, a promise of the commitment we're making to one another. It feels as though we're sealing our newfound resolve with every brush of our lips. As we talk, we discuss the things we want to explore together, traveling to places we've always wanted to visit, trying new activities, and even rediscovering old hobbies that brought us joy. The thought of rebuilding our life together fills me with excitement. The evening drifts into night, and we find ourselves wrapped in each other's warmth, the world outside forgotten. The loft, once a mere space filled with potential, now feels like a sanctuary, our sanctuary. Before long, I pull back slightly, looking deep into her eyes. What if we had a date night every week? Just you and me? Like when we first started dating? She asks, her eyes lighting up. Exactly. A chance to reconnect and remember why we fell in love. I say, my heart swelling at the thought. I love that idea, she replies, her smile contagious. And let's make it a rule to try something new each time. I can't help but chuckle at her enthusiasm. Deal. As we talk late into the night, the conversation flows effortlessly, punctuated by laughter and playful teasing. I find myself feeling lighter, as if the burdens I carried before have been lifted. In that moment, I know we've turned a corner. The shadows of doubt and betrayal may still linger in the back of my mind, but now they feel manageable, overshadowed by the connection we're reigniting. Eventually, exhaustion begins to set in, and I pull the blanket over us, cocooning ourselves in warmth and safety. As Amanda snuggles closer, I can feel the rhythm of her breathing slowing, the tranquility of the moment settling around us. Good night, Nicholas, she murmurs, her voice thick with sleep. Good night, Amanda, I reply, closing my eyes as a sense of peace washes over me. In the darkness, I allow myself to drift, feeling the soft rise and fall of her body against mine. I know we'll face challenges ahead, but for now, everything feels right. We're embarking on a new chapter, one filled with promise, intimacy, and a deeper understanding of each other. As I slip into sleep, I hold on to the hope that we'll navigate this journey together, hand in hand, heart to heart, rediscovering the love that had once felt so distant but is now within reach again. And with that, I know we've chosen to fight for us, to embrace the beautiful complexity of love and the journey that lies ahead. This concludes the novella. If you have any other requests or need further assistance, feel free to let me know.